So, okay, look, we've been told many times that watching films in class are not productive and are not good ways to learn. I completely disagree, if done correctly. Films are these powerful visual aids that can really help us understand history in a better fashion than simply going through a giant textbook, all that stuff. Like I said, they are powerful, powerful tools that help us see and put ourselves in the positions of people that may have been experiencing something in history. And I'm a believer that if you can connect with people in the past, you have a better chance of understanding for the long term what it was that they were doing, which basically means you'll know more. However, just turning on a film doesn't make it, right? That doesn't help, which is why we've created these things called film analysis. Many different parts of them, analyses, whatever you want to call them. They are a lot of work. They are. And if we just look on the screen, right, for example, we've done this one, a Civil War film analysis. They always tend to look about the same. We always have a character list, we always have an event, place, and policies, and then we also have a What the Dizzle section down here. I'll always give you a rundown quick of just the film, just so you can see it, and just some key points. Directions always be in yellow. So if you ever are missing or something like that, it's the same for everything we do regardless of it. However, I want to walk through and show some good examples, some bad examples, some strong examples, some weak ones, just so we can learn from it, because ultimately this is a project grade for us, but I want you to really get something from it. That way it's productive for us in the learning environment. So first off, we just look at this particular one. I'm not saying it's horrible. What I'm saying, it's a little weak on the people. From watching a whole movie, these are the only points that you get about these characters. I either, one, question how much you're paying attention, or two, you're not really engaging paying attention the way it should. Even down here, a little light. I'm not saying it's bad, because content doesn't know length in terms of quality, but usually for me, the more you write, the more you challenge yourself to expand your thinking and so forth. Down here, very good. Absolutely, from what I read in terms of the What the Dizzle, so this is what I would expect. Something a little more full sentence answer, not just a quick one sentence and go. Should be close to a paragraph. I would make the recommendation, though, when you're writing stuff, just watch yourself, right? Don't always do run-ons, don't always not capitalize your eyes, stuff like that. Because as we get up the ladder in terms of education, we get dinged a lot for this. So we just want to make sure we're doing it all the time across the board. Here was a good example in terms of actual bullet points. So I really liked this a lot, because this showed that not so much you're paying attention, but it's giving you a lot of information that you have to work off of later. So it was very good overall. And even down in the What the Dizzle section, I was pretty happy overall seeing something like that. So if you were along these lines, that's a good thing. And we see another example here, good bullet points, getting there for the most part okay down there. And if we jump to the next one, complete sentences, yes. Awesome. It's always good to write in complete sentences, just out of practice and out of habit, because the science has proven that the more times you do things, it becomes a habit, and it takes 21 times for you doing something for it to become a habit. So if you keep practicing it, it gets better. My only concern is a little light on the content knowledge in terms of it, and I understand this particular film analysis was a rather short one, but we want to take a little more in-depth notes if possible, and that's why I think bullet points sometimes for characters and events are just easier for you to do down here. Obviously, we didn't do that one there. That's okay. This was a good example, a bit more, so still using complete sentences, which is awesome, but using bullet points as well, so you're kind of blending both positives into one thing. So I thought this was a really, really good thing to see here. So good overall, yeah. And then here, this was a whoa example, like wow, outstanding. Newton Knight here, we clearly see this individual was really paying attention to it and was making sure they have everything detailed in it. Kudos completely on that one. Very much so. The only thing down when you get to the what the dizzle section is, if you're going to write that much, I would assume you have a lot to say. So make that match up, is really what I'm trying to say in that one. I think you all have a lot to say, and again, I believe films, movies, whatever you want to call them, are powerful weapons of education for us to learn. Especially now after like the year 2000, films have just gotten better and better when it comes to historical events. Right, the cinematic elements are better, it's more dramatic, all that stuff. So I really want you to get involved in it and watch it and like pick out the things between the lines, so that way your what the dizzle section is a good response. Overall though, I've been impressed for the most part what I'm seeing. I just want to make sure we don't fall back a little bit in terms of shorting ourselves in terms of learning in that, because we are against the button, sadly, that a lot of people do not believe that films can be a powerful weapon to use in the classroom. I beg to differ. However, we got to have the input there from you as well to show that it is valuable and it is something worth engaging in. That is it. If you have any questions, just always ask. But again, all film analyses or analysis, different parts will look very similar to this. So yeah, that should be it. We'll see you in the next film.